Hey guys, it's Rocky and welcome to my channel. I'm still in Vegas right now and I'm just at my friend's house, just going back and forth to different people's houses. But yes, I am here for another story time video and it has to do with flying on an airplane once again, and yeah, whatever. Honestly, I think I've flown on an airplane like more times than like the average teenager. To be honest with you, I've flown, oh my god, like a zillion times a freaking year. Like, I've already flown a few times this year. I mean, I don't get sick of it. Like, I know my way through the airport now. Like, I know exactly what to do. I don't freak out. I'm fine. And yeah, so let me quit ranting and let me go ahead and just get started with the story time. So this story time happened in the 3rd grade, and I honestly remember, I would say like 95% of the story. The only part that I don't remember is what happened like when I got off the airplane, and then like what happened before I got on the airplane, because I mean, who knew? I didn't know I was gonna be making a story about me vomiting on an airplane, 10 years down the road. And of course I vomited next to a complete stranger. Yay me! Before we go ahead and finally get started with the story time, if you would like to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, I post on Tuesdays and Saturdays pretty much whenever I can. I like to post story times and beauty videos and challenges and just all that type of stuff, so if you enjoy that, go ahead and subscribe below. And yeah, let's begin. So if you don't know, I'm from Michigan and I moved to Nevada in the 2nd grade, and every Christmas we would always go to my grandparents' house and we would have like a lottery thing, and like we would open gifts at my grandparents' house, and the cousins and like the aunts and uncles, we'd all just kind of hang out and just like do things in the snow and stuff like that. But this time we had to go on an airplane, of course, because I was living in Nevada, and like I said, it was in the 3rd grade, so I had to fly. I'm not really sure when we went to Michigan, but we probably went like a week before. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant anyways, like why did I just say that? But we went like a week before and we just spent the entire time at my grandparents' house. Anyways, I wasn't feeling sick like throughout the entire trip. Like, it was just like, I was fine. I was perfectly fine. And like me and my cousins, we would try to be like on the hunt for Santa Claus and stuff like that. And we'd go playing out in the snow. So like I completely, like, there was nothing wrong with me. I was completely fine until Christmas Day. So Christmas Day I was also fine, and we had like our lottery thing that me and my cousins would all do, and we opened gifts and we ate dinner and just all that, we had dessert, whatever. And it was the next day we would be flying back to Nevada. Once again, like, I didn't feel anything bad that night, even after I ate, like, I felt perfectly fine. Like, I was packing, I was getting ready to go. And I mean, I went to sleep, like I had a good night's sleep. Like, I don't know when I went to bed, but I went to bed and I was fine. Like, I didn't throw up, I didn't feel nauseous, I didn't feel anything like that. The next day it was time to leave, and my dad usually likes to pick the times that are like in the morning, like at 8 o'clock in the morning or like a 9:30 flight or whatever, because I guess, I don't know why, but I'm assuming it's just because he likes to go home early, and like you can kind of just rest the entire day, and like you can have like a free day and stuff like that, and you don't have to get home at like 11 o'clock at night or something. So yeah, it was an early flight for sure, and we woke up at like 7 in the morning probably, and our flight was, I'm guessing, taking off at like, I don't know what time, but I know it was in the morning, but it was like at 9 it would be taking off or something, I'm not really sure. And right before we left my grandparents' house, I ran my ass to the toilet and I ended up throwing up downstairs, and nobody heard me. I just, whatever. I just threw up. I don't really know where anybody was, and it was just kind of like a one-time thing, so I didn't really think of it. I didn't really think to tell anybody anything, and yeah, I just kind of ignored it, and I was like, whatever, I'll be fine on the plane. When I was boarding and stuff like that, like, I didn't throw up like throughout the entire time, like the security and whatever, and it was like 2 or 3 hours later, and I was perfectly fine. Like, I was on the plane, and I felt good, and I was so tired, so of course, I was gonna go to bed. And I distinctly remember that we flew on Delta, because for whatever reason my dad like really liked Delta at the time, and everybody wants the window seat. So I don't know where my mom and dad were sitting, but I know me and my brother got the window seat because we like the window seat, and my mom and dad were like probably like a few seats ahead or behind or whatever, but I think they also got either the aisle or the window seat because nobody wants to deal with the middle, because fuck the middle. I also very much remember the lady that was sitting next to me, who was in the middle seat, of course. I remember what she looked like. Short blonde hair, white, like, not really skinny, but at the same time, like, not really chubby. Like, she's just kind of there, she was probably like 30 years old. The flight takes off and I'm still doing fine. Like, everybody around me is starting to fall asleep. All the, the window things are down. And during this early stage of my life, I was actually able to fall asleep on an airplane. Like, for some reason I can't now, but I was able to fall asleep and I was doing okay. And right in the middle of the flight, this is when stuff happens and I wake up. So to this day, if I feel like throwing up, I don't run to the toilet. I just kind of sit there in my bed and just kind of let it happen. Or I just kind of like sit there and I'm like, I'm not gonna throw up, I'm gonna do fine, like, girl, I got this, like, nothing's gonna happen to me, like, I'm not gonna throw up. And I get like really hot and I get really sweaty and like I don't really say anything to anybody else, and I don't run into the toilet until like the very last second, like when like it's starting to come up and like I'm like, oh shit, you know, I'm actually gonna throw up. And like literally I will just sit there and it's like, who does that? But anyways, so the same thing happens to me. Like I just kind of sit there. Like I don't really do anything. I'm like, okay, you're just kind of feeling like maybe a little nauseous, but you're probably not gonna throw up or anything like that. It's just like a little thing, like, you know, whatever. Just drink some water, even though I didn't have any water. So I just kind of sat there and I just kind of waited. And instead of trying to find my mom or, you know, hit the little dinger or go to the restroom or something, guess what happens? I throw up. Yeah, I throw up all over me and the lady next to me. Like, no. And it keeps going. I'm not gonna give any detail because that is just nasty, but I throw up and I throw up to the lady next to me, and I don't think I've ever seen a woman spaz the fuck out the way this lady did. She was so terrified, and she was probably tired too. I'm pretty sure she was awake, but she heard me and she felt it, and she just like went off. And this, you know, the second that happened, she rings the dinger, she gets that thing going. Literally her thoughts were, where the fuck are your parents? Because that's basically what she asked me, you know, asking me, where the hell is your mother? Why are you sitting here alone? And why are you sick? And why is she, like, I don't know. And the guy next to her like woke up, and so they both get up and my mom comes. The second the airline people saw me, they turned around right away and they knew exactly what happened because you can obviously smell it, and they ran their asses back to like the front of the plane and they give me brown bags. Bitch, where? I'm sorry, but why am I getting a brown bag instead of like one of those long blue ones that you get in like the hospital? Like, I know they have those on the airplane because I've seen them before, but I get some brown bags and the lady gives my mom like an extra 1 or 2 bags, you know, just in case I puke again. And it was so awkward. And like after I had my throw up session, I had to go to the bathroom to kind of clean myself up a little bit and like go potty and clean my mouth because that's just nasty. And it was really awkward because everybody was staring at me and like they all heard it, and it was very, very annoying. And of course, like I wasn't in the very front of a plane or in the very back of the plane. Of course I had to be like right smack dab, like in the middle, like right where the freaking wings are. And that was so embarrassing. But I came back out, and thankfully for the rest of the time I didn't throw up, and I was completely fine. I don't know what happened to the lady, but she probably went first class, or she just took my mom's seat and, you know, they switched seats. So now somewhere in the world there is a lady who will probably remember for the rest of her life that a little girl threw up on her the day after Christmas. I remember I had a pretty shitty time opening up the Christmas presents because Santa came by when we were gone, and when we came back all the presents were there. Oh my god. But I don't think I threw up the rest of the time that I was sick. So, you know, of course it had to be, you know, in public with like 100 people, and I just had to throw up in front of a bunch of strangers and make the entire airplane smell and make the plane, you know, have a stain on the floor and all that good stuff. Of course, the one time that I throw up, it's on a plane. Yeah. Anyways, it's a short little story time, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and like the video if you did, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and go ahead and hit that little dinger down below if you want to get my notifications for every time I post a video. I hope y'all are having a fabulous Saturday, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye!